be coughing the whole time, so bear with that. Anyways, when I became TME for the very first time, I decided to do something different. I decided to draw cartoons for the role players and speakers on that meeting day. And here it is. I expected people to like it, but what I didn't expect was that people were complimenting me and saying I was a professional artist and saying it was that great and all that jazz. But in truth, I didn't really think much of it, to be honest. The thing is, I didn't have, the last time I took art lessons was at primary school. I had a drawing tablet, I had a drawing software, so I thought to myself, why not? And when people were complimenting me about this, I felt gratified. And after that, I decided, why not talk about it in my CC8? And here we are. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, and welcome guests.
Good evening.
Drawing has been a hobby of mine, and I would like to take this opportunity to share how I started to learn how to draw. And who knows, maybe you can start too. Now, I'm not going to talk about what pencil you should use, what tablet you should buy, or what software you should install. No. Instead, I'll be talking to you about the essentials on if you want to start to learn how to draw. And to me, it's all about tutorials, reference, and attitude. Now, first things first, like Shafiq said, I never had any classical lessons on art. And so I did what every ordinary individual would do when they want to learn something. They go to a magical place called the internet. What I found out was that there was a lot of online artists that were willing to teach ordinary people what they know about art. And what these artists would usually do is that they will make images or set up images that will show step-by-step instructions on a certain aspects on art. Pardon me. I learned a lot from the tutorials the artists gave me. I learned about color, I learned about composition, I learned about color moves, I learned how to draw moves. I learned how to draw faces, posing, shading, I learned how to draw hair, and I learned a lot of things. And the best thing about this is that it's all free. The favorite word for every university student. I usually get my reference tutorials from either DeviantArt or Tumblr.com. And these tutorials are great referencing materials if you want to start learning how to draw. And speaking of referencing materials, on to my next point, which is to have reference. This kind of overlaps with my first point, and I'll explain why in a bit. Have you ever looked at a painting so realistic, you feel like you're asking yourself, how the hell did he do that? And yes, this is a painting. Have you ever drawn something and thought to yourself, something's missing here? Well, it's all about references. You see, tutorials are useful, but they can only help you so far. Chances are you won't find a tutorial out there that's going to teach you on how to draw a chupacabra. That's a Mexican monster that can slap. Just so you know. What artists usually do is that they would, whenever they want to draw something new, a new object or a pose, they would get an image of that object at the site so they can draw it, hence referencing. And it works wonders. For example, this is from a professional artist, and this is before he referenced, and this is after he referenced. See, this is all you can do with when you reference your art. Even the greatest artists reference. That's what novice artists make the mistake. One of the greatest artists needed this to draw this. The artist is Norman Rockwell, a famous illustrator in the past. I don't remember when. But anyway, that's the point here is that even the best artist needs referencing. So therefore, there's no need for you to worry about copying other people's work, because people do that all the time. Finally, for my last and most important point, is having the right attitude. Of course, how can you improve on something when you don't even enjoy it? Have you ever had that friend that's good at drawing, but he usually goes, oh no, I'm not that good. Well, I'm that friend. The thing is, after looking at the internet on how to draw this, how to draw that, following art blogs, and following professional artists, I realized a common message these professional artists convey. They usually say, don't be ashamed of your art. It's your art, you've made it. And that struck me. For one thing, it tells me that these artists have been through what I've been through. They started off from somewhere. And I've also realized that I was my own biggest critics. We are our own biggest critic. People would usually say to us, oh, it's so good, but we shrug it off. And that's the problem we have. We shrug off good judgment so we can improve. But good judgment is actually good. I've learned that I shouldn't compare my art to other people, and that my art is good enough on its own. And I think this analogy would really illustrate it. I'm still practicing, I'm still keeping the right attitude and persevering to improve day by day. So yes, having the right attitude really helps to improve your skills and your forte on art. Fellow Toastmasters and friends. Oh yes, I forgot one point. I've learned that, looking back, I've learned that I've also improved as an artist myself. And it actually blows my mind how, after years of doing all this, I can actually get from there to there. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, I love to draw. And sure, I might not be the best. I'm not at that level where I am satisfied yet with my own art. But that's okay. I'm still learning. I still have tutorials that I still refer to. I still have a lot of pictures that I use as references. And I still keep practicing and going head on, keeping my chin up, having the right attitude. That's how I learned how to draw. Fellow Toastmasters and friends, if you want to try to draw but don't know how, and you're too lazy to take the art module, now you know. And who knows? Maybe your work of art, it might not seem that much to you, but to other people, it can bring the biggest of felicity. That's all for me. Thank you very much, and back to you.